just gonna show you how I do my makeup for podcasts. So my face is a little bit dry. I'm gonna go in with my True Botanicals Renew Nutrient Mist. This is my milk, by the way, Hydro Grip. I'm going in with my homemade shea butter. I put it on the back of my hand. And I really like to just make sure I'm super moisturized, that my skin prep is really good before I even begin to do anything else. Primer. I used Kier Weiss's the Beautiful Primer, which is literally my new favorite primer. And this is coming from a girl who has been a faithful Hydro Grip user all my life. Great news is that both of them are clean. And I would say that this would be, well, no, both are pretty clean actually, yeah. And I know that there's really no standards, but I follow the most rigorous standards in America that I'm aware of, which is the detox market standards. Just because I know that not all essential oils are bad, obviously. Just because I know that some websites out there may not be the most viable resource. So I like going for a standard that's been tested and tried by, I'll leave that there. Anyways, 1 pump Kier Weiss, half a pump Hydro Grip. Let's put this on my face. And the Kier Weiss is so gratuitous, like it gives so much. I should have just did half a pump each, but it is what it is. We are here. So boom, we've primed. Gonna let that sit for a minute and go in with my loose powder from Chanel. I can't even say it's not the worst. It's just me trying to make something. I'll do more research and let you guys know. So I cannot, but I know it's not clean, okay? So I used my Real Techniques 201 brush to blend that Chanel powder in. And now I'm going to go in with my foundation. The foundation that I'm going to use today is from Too Faced Born This Way. If I were to go from like clean to not clean, Too Faced would be like right in the middle with their formulation. Maybe a little bit, yeah, right in the middle or a little bit towards clean. Like I lean them that way, so I do like that. But if not, you can also use, I'm a big Vapor fan for the no makeup look. It's just today I want to look like I'm wearing makeup. Kosas is also great. It's a new foundation. Kosas is cleaner too, so that's nice. That is what I'd say on the scale of like not clean to clean. This is in the middle. Kosas is clean. Vapor is clean. I'll share the standards of the detox market standards, by the way, so you don't think I'm making this stuff up. Okay, cool. Okay, going in with my, wait a second, I just realized my mirror has lights. Let me turn those lights on and be right back. I am a fan. Anyways, I use 3 concealers, Fit Glow, Born This Way, and Rare Beauty. However, my Rare Beauty concealer I'm out of, so I will be using my Pro Concealer. If I was to follow the same scale from before of not clean to clean, Born This Way and Rare Beauty's concealers would probably fall in the middle, leaning towards clean. Rare Beauty a bit more so than the Born This Way's concealer, with the cleanest out of all 3 being the Fit Glow concealer. Okay, and if you want me to go into detail about this, I can on my TikTok, and you can ask me questions there, my Instagram, things like that. As you can see, I kind of place it around my nose. I kind of place it around my nose, and I place it on the outskirts of my face, and I'll let that dry for a second. Then my second round of concealer will be my Born This Way concealer. I place that more towards my inner eye-ish. And then my third round, since again I'm out of my Rare Beauty, will be another round of my Born This Way or my Pro Concealer in the shade Toast, just so I can get my colors right. after I blend out my under eye, like the moment after it's blended out with concealer, I go in with my Vapor setting powder, which is hands down the best, and I mean the best setting powder I ever used in my entire life. I'm not dragging it. And this is, look, I'm a Laura Mercier babe. I'm a Beauty Bakery babe. What else I've been using? I use Maybelline Fit Me. Don't play with me. This, hands down. Unfortunately, Vapor has gone out of business. So who bought the big and has 2 backups? I do. I do, this girl. But if you don't have Vapor, Laura Mercier in the shade Translucent is also quite good for deeper skin tones. If you want to brighten, I also use the Honey shade from Laura Mercier, which I ran out of. And when I ran out of it, I wanted to swap to something more clean than Laura Mercier, which is how I discovered Vapor. Look, it's all making sense. It's all making sense. Anyways, set with your setting powder. You want to go in light layers, people. Say it with me. Light layers. You're going to go in 1 light layer, then the 2nd light layer of powder, like literally. Then if you need to, the 3rd light layer of powder, which I always advocate for. And once you're done setting those light layers under your eyes, you can then set everywhere else you put concealer on your face. Okay, set it with a light layer. After you do that, feel free to bake and contour as you please. I like to bake while I'm doing other things on my face, so that's what you're seeing here now. Putting in a little bit of my contour here, my little bronzy bronze there, doing my eyes. Well, I like to do my eyes first before I do like my bronzing and stuff, because I feel like all of those are like finisher steps, and so I go in with my eyes first just to, you know, set it with concealer and then bronze there, then continue to bronze the rest of my face. You know what I mean? It's just a nice quick way to do a really snatched base kind of look. But like subtle snatched, not like, I don't know how to describe it, like a calm flex. You know what I mean? I like calm flex makeup. This is what I would call this, okay? So yes, let's keep going, let's keep going. Fenty face brush. Okay, so now that I finished bronzing my eyes, I want to go in and bronze the rest of my face, like I mentioned before. But first, I'm gonna wipe everything that I baked away. Oh, yes. So I'm gonna press and swipe, press and swipe, okay? So obviously there's a harsh line or harsh lines on my face. We are going to get rid of those, okay? The same brush that you use to apply your foundation, which is my handy dandy foundation buffing brush from Vapor. I use my buffing brush to blend in foundation. That same buffing brush, if you don't have a buffing brush to blend foundation, grab a buffing brush, and blend that harsh line. Just blend it. What you're doing is you're marrying the powder from the top with the powder on the bottom underneath your contour. The top and the bottom, you're marrying that into like a beautiful little gradient. And it won't blend all of the harsh line away, but it will blend most of it away, which is good. So blend, 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 blend. Let's powder contour, liquid contour, and then powder contour. Wait, liquid contour and then powder contour. Yeah, I said that right. I go in with my Pro Concealer in the shade Truffle to contour my cheeks, the arch of my nose, like that goes from the arch to my eyebrows. That area is what I contour. And then my forehead for sure, and my jawline. And once I finish up with my jawline, I don't even let it dry down too much, but I do let it dry for a little bit. Then I blend it out with my little mini buffing brush. It's a blender brush, the little mini buffing brush. Blend, 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 blend. And then go in with my Morphe palette. It's my favorite palette in the world. And one day there will be a cleaner version of it. There will. Once it's done, and I'll have to find a cleaner alternative. I'm using 8R That's Rich from Morphe. That's the palette I use. And I go in with the contour and the lightest bronzer shade in the palette. I use those interchangeably around my face just to add depth. So contour more so in the cheeks and my forehead. The lighter bronzer more so on top of that contour I just developed and underneath my contour as well. And that's literally all I do with this palette. Literally just contour bronzer, okay? My favorite bronzer though for sure is the Vapor, which you'll see me use too, just a little bit of. And then really all that's left to do is mascara. My lip, I use my lip liner from Kosas and my lipstick along with a little bit of my gloss. But I do have Fit Glow glosses that I love as well. Set with more setting spray and going with my finishing powder from Chanel. Literally like the slightest hand. Literally, as you can see, I'm just the slightest hand. And I'm not setting everywhere with the Chanel because the Chanel is a setting powder that's flesh toned, my skin tone. I'm literally only going in on the places that don't have depth or highlight, like concealer added to it. You know, or else I'll just look like a one color and it negates the whole contour highlighting thing we just went through this past 45 minutes. Don't do it. Just put it like you see where I'm putting it. Just put it in the in-betweens of the contour and highlights, the sections that are the in-betweens. Anywhere that you feel is like your foundation shade is where you would put that beautiful setting powder, you know? Hit your neck a little bit, hit your neck, and then that's it, you're done. Very simple, you know, very simple. All right, I know you guys are probably wondering about my brows. I love my natural brows, so I never do them when I do my makeup. And if you weren't wondering about them, or if you didn't mind that I didn't do it, it means I did a pretty daggone good job. I will never do my brows on myself for a look unless it's for something very specific or necessary. But my day-to-day, I don't do brows. I just make sure they're brushed and neat and go about my business. With that being said, sorry, my nose runs whenever I do makeup. With that being said, this is my finished completed look. And here's footage of me all dressed up during my podcast, which you can also find below the link to keep up with all the questions, the juicy, wonderful, financial, cultural, amazing, spiritual questions that I get asked. This look is giving, okay? Calm flex. Let me get some better lighting for you too, okay? Okay, I'm back. I'm gonna add blush. It didn't feel right without blush. So I'm going in with my pressed blush from RMS Beauty in the shade Crushed Rose. So this is how I'm looking for my podcast, which I'll link below. If you are trying to figure out how to not settle into your poverty mindset, this podcast is for you, like 100%. So check it out. I'll link it below. Me recording took me about an hour 15-ish, an hour 20. So, you know, no shame, no matter how long it takes you, as long as you get it done, you take your time with it and you blend, blend, blend. Thanks again, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.